And we must, finally, we must reform ICE.
If I ever get stopped by ICE or I see them kidnapping someone, I'm gonna run them over.
$9 billion.
You don't think so?
Really?
Ilhan Omar is in full panic mode. She knows that everything is coming to an end. The money is coming to an end. Her status in America is coming to an end. The lid has been blown off the Somalian fraud. She is very much at risk of being deported, and she's panicking. You can tell. I mean, the press is not stopping. She is corrupt. It's disgusting what's happening around her, what she's allowed to happen, the fraud that she has taken part of. So now let's take a look at what the heck is going on.
Congresswoman, Republicans have repeatedly stated that you committed immigration fraud. Are you at all worried about a formal investigation that could perhaps lead to your deportation?
Are you one of those people?
I don't know what that means, but are you at all concerned?
Do I look concerned?
I guess not.
Okay.
What about the Minnesota fraud hearing? You didn't show up for that. Do you think you should have?
Why should I have?
Well, it happened in your state. Don't you want to defend your position?
There were people from my state that were there.
Okay, but why not you? I mean, there's allegations that you're complicit in the fraud. Wouldn't you want to show up?
Why would there be an allegation that I'm complicit? How would I be complicit?
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Do you just ask stupid questions? Is this your thing?
Whoa. I'm curious to get your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of controversy around the issue. $9 billion in fraud in the state of Minnesota.
$9 billion?
You don't think so?
Really?
Yeah, and counting. Probably more, honestly. You think that's fake news or what?
That is more than half of the resources that are allocated.
Okay.
So you genuinely, like, your brain has told you that it is possible for half of the resources.
I'm just going off of what
for our public service to, like, half disappear, is what you're saying.
Countless Minnesota state representatives, whistleblowers have come forward.
Listen to yourself, though.
I'm trying
just think about that for a second.
Maybe if you showed up at the hearing, you would know that whistleblowers are being retaliated against for exposing the fraud. Why is that? Why are they being tracked and traced?
Think about what you're asking. Who is tracing whistleblowers?
Minnesota state officials, Tim Walz, anyone who dares to speak out against the government.
Tim Walz is doing something to whistleblowers?
Yeah, why is Tim Walz stepping down if he's, innocent? Why isn't he running for re-election?
Interesting timing.
Because he's had 8 years to serve as our great governor.
He was going to be vice president of the United States if Kamala won.
And he would have been an excellent vice president.
But now he's stepping down.
Much better than the person we have right now.
And now he's stepping down as governor. Any comment on that? You don't think he's maybe complicit?
He is focusing on trying to make sure our state remains great. All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting the fact that Tim Walz just went from running for vice president of the United States to now he's just giving up. He's just quitting. I didn't get the position I wanted, so I'm just going to quit. I wasn't really in it for the people. I was just in it for the title, for the paycheck, right? Kind of weird how Ilhan Omar didn't really answer a single question, just kept deflecting. Really? That much money? I mean, that's what people are saying. That's what people are exposing. If the whistleblowers are saying that, then we should probably look into it. It's very bizarre behavior. It's all projection. You can tell Ilhan's time is coming to an end in America, about to be deported. Fetterman blows the whistle for the Democrats. Holy smokes. He's basically a Republican at this point.
Border, and it was skyrocketing, and it's like, that's unsustainable. When you reach almost 300,000 people, that's unsustainable. And we need to, as a Democrat, It shouldn't be unreasonable to want to secure our border and do it in that way. And now let's also talk about ICE. Now, absolutely, again, what happened in Minneapolis was absolutely tragic. And then now, if you think, now this is from the Washington Post, this is the latest statistics. These are people that ICE now are, it's like now 67% have criminal charges, pending ones, or that. So that's more than 2/3. The people now there are some people that aren't involved in any kinds of illegal things, but so me, I think two things can be true. Round up all the criminals, deport them. They shouldn't have ever been here, and they definitely have to go. And now I don't want to see more and more things happening in Minneapolis now too. So two things must be true. And I strongly reject the extreme on either side, about this now. So we must be true. And, I watched you earlier in your show. You just pointed out President Obama deported, millions of people, and there wasn't having the same kind of outrage here, here is from Democrats.
One step up. When President Obama was president, CNN actually did a ride along with ICE while they went and conducted their job of deporting or catching illegals and the deportation process. And you know what CNN had to say? This is great. This is so good. Wow, this is phenomenal. And there were no mass protests against ICE. You want to know why? Because politicians were not speaking out against ICE. The media was not speaking out against ICE. It just kind of happened, and it wasn't at the forefront of the news cycle, and it wasn't being overly politicized, because having illegals in America, or in any country for that matter, is, you can't reward it. It's bad. Why are you rewarding criminal behavior by breaking into a country and illegally residing in that country?
And so today, I am glad to announce that the Congressional Progressive Caucus has adopted an official position to hold ICE accountable. Our caucus members will oppose all funding for immigration enforcement in any appropriation bills until meaningful reforms are enacted to end militarized policing practices. And
so she basically wants to defund ICE. This is so weird. It's overly politicized, and Obama actually used ICE to deport people. So I don't understand why the Democrats are overly politicizing something that is not worthy of being overly politicized.
And we must, finally, we must reform ICE. But it looks at this stage, folks, ICE is beyond reform. ICE is totally out of control. And this week, I intend to introduce a bill to abolish ICE. We need to make ICE go away. 2003, before 2003, without ICE, various federal agencies were able to take care of business, and we can do this without ICE. But we do not need the murderers. We do not need these paramilitary organizations, members on our street terrorize us.
I bet this guy probably doesn't like ICE. The fact that he can probably be deported. I mean, Libs of TikTok posted this saying, this dude from India who can barely speak English wants to abolish ICE. You can't make this up. Then you got anti-ICE protesters in Oregon that are staging a murder scene or something. Crush ICE. Oh my God, dude, these people need jobs. This is brainwashed Nazi. Does your daughter know you take orders from a pedo? Oh my goodness. These people, oh, of course, the rainbow socks, eh? These people are so brainwashed. They're so lonely, to be doing this in the middle of the week like this, in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week. It's just weird. What are you doing? What do you go contribute to society somehow?
If I ever get stopped by ICE or I see them kidnapping someone, I'm gonna run them over. Fuck ICE. And if I ever...
Yep. That apparently is a real video posted by somebody with their real face, their real voice, and I believe their real name on TikTok. That's kind of concerning. And you know why people like this are being radicalized? Because the media enables it and politicians are enabling it. It's disgusting, and it's going to lead to something extremely tragic, unfortunately.
Congresswoman Omar, Comer, yesterday you told me to please read when I asked you about the $9 billion fraud that you denied is happening, but I have it right here. I read. Look, Chairman Comer opens hearing on massive fraud scandal, $9 billion.
That's what Comer believes because he's as smart as you are.
It's not just Comer. It's Scott Besson. It's federal prosecutors. It's House Oversight.
Absolutely
and
no
it's Minnesota State
way.
Reps.
You could have that, ma'am. I think you need to get examined because your brain has been fried in some way, and it's not okay. I really hope you get some help. You and the Republicans here. Take care, okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I couldn't go to the learning centers that you're running over in Minnesota, but I think you should perhaps read what's actually.
One of those learning centers.
I need one of those learning centers.
Yes, see it.
Leering centers, more like it.
We have boots on the ground in Minnesota, and through our fraud prevention, we have found that there is likely over $84 million in eligible assistance that was given to the state of Minnesota during the Biden administration, including almost $500,000 in improper assistance to over 500 dead tenants. And so you think about that, Tony. Over $84 million of hard-working taxpayer money that was shelled out during the Biden administration in improper assistance and serving over 500 dead people with almost $500,000 of assistance. This is a lack of stewardship. It's gross negligence, but I'm grateful at this time that our team on the ground has found these improper payments, and we will hold those accountable that are responsible for this.
This is why the Democrats fought Doge. It was all about money laundering operations, using American tax dollars to benefit and elect Democrats. And the fraud is coming to, I mean, it's coming to an end. Investigations are ongoing. People will soon be deported. And it's probably not that far-fetched to assume that you're also going to have politicians that could probably be prosecuted and jailed. We're going to have to wait and see how this does play out, but that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe so you can get more content like this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.